Stop buying perfume. It's not just you, it's science. Blind buying, endless bottles, chasing that next scent. Your brain is literally wired to love it. When you smell a new fragrance, dopamine floods the brain. It's the same chemical released when we're gambling, shopping, or in love. But here's the twist. Anticipation can give more enjoyment than actually owning the perfume. Do you ever notice that scrolling the discount sites at 2 a.m. or waiting for that next delivery or even tearing off that plastic wrap from the box feels better than even wearing the perfume? That's the anticipation dopamine doing its thing. The novelty cycle. Our brains crave novelty. So once you wear that new perfume a few times, you move on. But some people aren't chasing that high at all. They're true scent lovers. And scientists call them super smellers. A super smeller's brain processes scent more intensely. Just smelling it is bliss, it's art, and meditation, all wrapped into one. And if you're a super smeller, you're never worried about finishing all of these bottles either, because the joy is in the moment. And you might be a little of both. So the question then becomes, why can't you just stop? Blame science, because scent bypasses logic and goes straight into the limbic system. That's the part of your brain that controls emotion and memory. And that's why one whiff can transport you to childhood, heartbreak, or even a fantasy. And it's also why you keep chasing that new smell.
Happy Tuesday evening, everybody. I'm not sure if there's going to be an upload Wednesday. Depends upon how tired I am, okay? If you missed yesterday's video about perfume, it's about just the myriad of perfume bottles that people have in their house. This is a 4-part thing we're doing this week. So yesterday was just looking at all the volumes of perfume that people have. Today, we're looking at people who claim to be addicted to buying perfume. Then tomorrow, we are going to look at perfume and the cost of really, really expensive perfumes that people own. And yes, it does reach into the thousands. And we're also for like one bottle. And we're also on the 4th series this week. We're going to look at people who get duped into buying fake perfumes and to give you some tips and even things that I've learned to do on making sure you don't buy fake perfume. So again, this is a trigger warning. If you feel this would upset you in any way, because it deals with addiction and buying habits that may or may not be appropriate for you to be watching this type of video right now, I totally understand. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this video, which deals with people who are addicted. Now, as you know, I had a shopping addiction in my 20s. It's a very, very severe shopping addiction. It's what led to my bankruptcy when I was about 24, 25. Now, she says here that some people are simply buying perfumes just because they enjoy the smell of it. In other words, it's dismissing that they're addicted to perfume. They're just super smellers, is what I think she calls it. But either way, whether you're a super smeller, and that's what you tell yourself you are, or you're just simply a perfume addict, to me, if it is hurting your budget, you're going without, and I'm talking without the necessities, or you're unable to fill responsibilities to your children, spouses, partners, other family members, whatever. In other words, you can't fulfill those obligations because you're too busy buying perfume, then it is, in my opinion, okay, an addiction, regardless of whether you're a so-called just addict or addict/super sniffer. If you think about, let's go beyond perfumes. Think about the products that you buy, whether it's food and the scent or other bath and body products. I was adopted from Vietnam when I was 4.5 years old. The very first scent, I remember 2 scents, S-C-E-N-T-S, okay? My mom introduced to me, my adopted mom, when I got to the United States. The first was Playtex Baby Magic Baby Lotion. Comes in the pink bottle. Absolutely remember that scent so well that, like, if someone said you could only sniff one thing before you pass away, what would you want to smell? Baby Magic Baby Lotion. It's actually Playtex. I think Baby Magic Baby Lotion is actually another brand, okay? But I know the brand is Playtex. Playtex Baby Lotion. I think Baby Magic is a separate brand. My mother, I literally remember one day just slathering it on me. And I mean, again, I'm coming from a Vietnam orphanage, not introduced to a whole lot of things. I just remember going, that just smelled so good. She used to put it on me every night. So I have a very positive association with that scent. Now, even though it's lotion, it is still in of itself a perfume scent. Okay. Not perfume in the traditional sense like we're looking at now, but it is still a scent. It evokes a memory. The other scent are Kellogg's Fruit Loops. And I'm sorry, I don't care how they try to mimic it. This, what is it? Fruitios or whatever. No, it has to be Kellogg's Fruit Loops with the little parrot on the front. That scent, very, very distinct. That taste, very, very distinct. If we think beyond perfume, the things that you are introduced to as a kid, those manufacturers, whether it's food, bath and body product lotion, okay, sodas, whatever, they want to introduce it to you while you're young. And people want to know, why do advertisers pay millions and the billions, let's just put in the billions of dollars, okay, over time to try to introduce products to people that carry certain scents and memories? Because they know if they can get you young, if they can convince your parent, think about how competitive the baby market is for stuff. If they can convince your parent to buy that product, to stick it on you so that you as the kid will remember it, guess what? Chances are you're going to grow up and put that same product on your kid. And if you had a decent life, okay, you'll grow up and go, wow, I remember this scent. I remember the good times with this scent. There's a lot of money in perfume, traditional perfume like we're looking at in this video, and in just the perfume of the things you smell in your food, the taste that you have. It's the same reason a lot of big companies, they want to go into schools. I saw a video once. I can't remember where I saw it, but they literally went in and it was like into a high school. This was several years back. And they literally just plastered the high school with some brand. I can't remember what the brand was. And since I don't want to, guess, but it was like a big major company. All right. They splattered it all over the lockers. I mean, it looked really, really cool. But from a kid's sense, okay, it's just like, wow, this is just neat. I get to walk down the hallway and see my favorite Coke, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, whatever. Okay. But you see, older people understand it's a marketing thing. Yeah, they want you to enjoy and have a good time in school and look at the pretty hallways, but it's about dollars. It's about marketing. In fact, that gives me an idea for a video, family. I may do a video on advertising and how it impacts schools and other industries. That would be interesting. Throw in the comments if you'd be interested in that, okay? Even though this video, I know it's not got a lot of views, all right? Because I know it's not dealing with begging, but I really want to expand people. I do a lot more than just begging. I mean, begging is fun and stuff, but really my talent extends way beyond that. So I hope to introduce that to you. And begging is now Saturdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. If I can do it during the week, I will, if I'm able to. But the videos do take time to edit. So if you think about the manufacturers and how much money they're spending to try to convince you to get that scent introduced to you, you can see where it's $1 billion industry. So she's right. There are people who clearly are addicted, and then there are the super smellers. But either way, if it's hurting your budget, it's an addiction, period.
I thought I would share with you guys what the evolution of my perfume collecting has looked like in less than 2 years. So if you look at this is from January of last year. This is what my collection looked like when I first started. You can see it started to grow a little bit by February 1st, but still very, very small, right? And then we go into this one, which is very shortly later, I think March 28th. And then we have April 25th here. So we're moving on a little bit. May 6th already, same year. Look how much it's grown. Then this one was November of last year. So
holy cow. Okay, for those who can't see the screen. Oh my Lord. I mean, this lady started out with a little collection like I have. Like what I got back here I got maybe around 15 perfumes. All right. I've been collecting perfume the last month. I really enjoy it. I got like 15 and I'm like, okay, that's enough. This is just, oh my gosh.
a year ago, this is where we were 1 year ago. It looks like a lot, but it's not a lot. And this is where we're at now. I wanted to share this because a lot of people say, you have the dream collection. I could only dream of having a collection like that. You can. Less than 2 years ago, I didn't have nothing. You've seen that. I had nothing. It all started with a mini perfume someone sent me. I decided I loved it. I started collecting vintage perfumes and then regular perfumes and then niche. And now look at me. It does help if you have an addictive personality though.
I know she's saying that facetiously. It helps if you have an addictive personality, but I want you to think of this, folks. That is thousands and thousands and that's probably more money than people make in a year. All right. There are a lot of people making a year on perfume. So she's either really, really wealthy and she can afford it, or all the money and you're going broke. We got to remember something too, folks. Addicts don't tell you that they're going broke. Somebody will show you their big collection. Look at all this. They're not going to tell you most of the time, unless they're having an honest heart-to-heart discussion with TikTok, whereby we can learn from it. They don't tell you they're going broke. And just like when you see the influencers and you see their big kitchen and their fancy cars and their big old house, yada, yada, and they don't tell you they're broke. They don't tell you, oh, the car's rented, the kitchen's rented. I didn't even know people could rent a kitchen. Yes, they can. They can rent a kitchen to do their holes, whatever. Because behind what looks flashy and what looks glamorous, somebody got to pay the bill for it. So she can say that's not really a lot. I mean, if she can afford the bill, great. But let's remember something. Addiction is not about your race, your sex, the job you have, how much money you make. Addiction stands all alone in its own category. It's an addiction. You have multimillionaires who are addicted to drugs. Does that make the addiction any better because they can afford it? So does it make a perfume addiction any better? Because, hey, at least they can afford the perfume. I don't know if they can afford it. And I'm the type, before I make a judgment, I'd like the whole story. So when someone says, hey, look at all my perfume, the first thing I'm thinking is ding, 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 10, 20, 30, 40.
And I'm addicted to fragrance. I'm addicted to all of this. You guys know I started my no-buy on August 1st.
For those who don't know, and I didn't know that perfume had addicts to it, not like this, okay? A no-buy, I have learned this week, is when perfume addicts say they are not going to buy any more perfume. They call it a no-buy, N-O-B-U-Y. I'm only spelling that to make sure that people who are not seeing the screen understand what I'm saying.
And I stayed clean for 7 whole days, which if you saw what happened with my July no-buy, you know that is quite a feat. But on day 8, I really fell off the wagon. See, the first bottle, I got such a steal, I just couldn't turn it down. This was a partial of something that was high on my wish list, and it was only $75. Does it even count if it's under $100? See, that's how you know you're a junkie. Y'all hear how I'm rationalizing my backslide?
Same thing that shopaholics do, same thing that gambleholics do. But let me stay in my lane with shopping addiction. Hey, this was a good deal. Okay. This was a special sale, was only from 9 to 1, or, I'm out of town and I'm never going to see this product, this item again. So I need to buy it, or I'm in town, but come up with a reason. It's rainy, it's cold, I need to have it. You can come up with 100 reasons. And at the peak of my shopping addiction, the day that I'll never forget it. It was like it was yesterday. The day I drove past a mall and did not stop. I was so proud of myself. And I mean, sincerely. And those who have not ever had an addiction problem may not understand just how sincerely we're saying. We're saying it as sincerely as we can. It's as sincere as an alcoholic, is able to skip that bottle, is able to drive past that bar. The gambleholic can drive past that casino. I felt the same way as a shopaholic, not shopping addict, even full-blown shopaholic. And I was so proud of myself that and I remember it, the mall is to my right. It was a sunny day. I was in Beaverton, Oregon, and I drove past it. And it was everything I could, because it's a mind thing. That's why sometimes I'd wind up in the emergency room because I would need to get medication. Yeah, that type of stuff. So the day that I was able to drive by that mall, I wish I could say it solved all my problems. And that was the change. No, it was just beginning of hell on earth. But I did it, and I did it that one day. Today, I can do it every day. Today, I go to the mall, and I can look around, kick around a little bit. Okay. And when I buy something, I pay for it in full. Today, I control it. It doesn't control me. But it is a mental hell that anyone who's had a true addiction knows what I'm talking about. I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
I can officially say I'm running out of room. Like,
They like to freeze and look at these collections. Okay.
do y'all see this? Okay. Don't mind all this mess. Like, I don't have room anymore. And it's starting to drive me crazy. Like, you see, it's like spilling over onto the floor now. This is the main setup. But we got stuff here. We got this candle rack here. We got stuff here. We got stuff here. Oh, I'm just overwhelmed. Like this, I'm seriously making this video because I'm overwhelmed. Like, I love all my stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just like running out of room. And I don't want to declutter. I love my stuff. I just need more room.
What you begin to find when you perfume shop, and this to me is a good thing, okay? It shows that I have control because I have my perfume bottles back here. And I realized, and this is a control I would not have had. Thank God I didn't have this addiction, all right? Because this would have been just as broke, would have made me just as broke. How many vanilla perfume bottles do I need? See, this is my healthy mind today. How many vanilla perfume bottles do I need? And I realized I already got 3 perfumes where the main notes of the perfume, the main scent is vanilla. How many more do I need of that? Probably have enough. How many cotton candies do I need? Well, right now, I can honestly tell you, I've probably 2-3 cotton candies. I think that's enough. That's a healthy mind. I'm good. And then, of course, I went out and bought the Youth Dew from Estee Lauder. Okay, there was some good money plunked down on that entire line because I wanted the perfume, the powder, and the lotion. Had to have it all. Well, I'm 59 years old. I must take care of my skin and smell good. See the excuses? Just because I'm not a shopaholic, folks, doesn't mean I can't come up with a myriad of excuses. Okay, just the difference is I control it now. Right? And if I have a little slip up, it's so little that it doesn't damage me anymore. You know, like when I went out and bought $1,500 worth of Staub kitchenware and stuff at Crate and Barrel, and I had a great time, and I still own the stuff today. In other words, my slip up, so to speak, are calculated, they're financially budgeted, and it's just one heck of a great treat. It's not something that's going to hurt me.
The last couple days, I have been thinking that maybe I'm going to sell or give away all the perfumes that I don't love anymore. And maybe it's because I'm feeling like I have so many that I don't even know, like I forget that I have some of them and they don't get worn. And I love fragrance, but I'm starting to feel like I'm on a line of like consumerism to the point where I can't even appreciate what I have. And part of me like feels sick to do that. And then part of me thinks that that's like the right thing to do. Not the right thing, but it's like maybe what I need to do. Maybe cut my collection down to like 50 bottles or something.
That is also a sign of addiction. You have so much of something that you don't appreciate it. It's kind of like young kids who have tons and tons of money because mommy and daddy have money. Do they appreciate it? Nope. They just blow through it. They probably can't. Some of them are probably so rich they don't even remember how much, this money they spent yesterday, last week, much less how much they spend in a year. After a while, you're just collecting it. And I'll be honest, even with my perfume collection, I can see where it could happen to somebody, especially if you have addictive personality. Because I've had OCD before. I am perfect for addictive personality. I am. But like I said, I've learned to control it over the last few decades. But I can totally see where you could buy so much of something. It's like the clothes that I bought. After a while, I couldn't even tell you what I owned. Because remember what I told you in yesterday's video. It's not about wearing it. It's not about sniffing it or anything else. It's just about being able to say you have it. And that can be very expensive.
Perfume is an expensive hobby. So anything I say to follow, it's still an expensive hobby. But there's a few things. So I have never paid full price for a niche fragrance ever. I've went to look at, department stores. Did I purchase? Absolutely not. The majority of the perfumes I buy are secondhand or from discounters. And even the discounters, I can maybe twice. I always buy off of those Facebook groups. I'm also a fan of being transparent. And I'm going to be honest. And I don't buy myself new clothes or new shoes. Like I'll wear the same shoes for like literally a couple of years. And where I do spend money occasionally is on fragrance. But I try to be smart about it. Like I said, I do a lot of wheeling and dealing. Like if I'm not loving something, I'm selling it. I can't have anything on those shelves. If I'm not using them or if I don't enjoy it, I have to sell it because I can't warrant keeping things I don't use. I can't afford to. And I did not go into a high-paying career. I studied education. but we do have a lot of bills and we do have 4 kids and all those things. But this is the fanciest I've been in my life. It really is the fanciest I've been in my life. I don't special order like when there's a brand new release. I'm not special ordering it and paying full price ever. So as much as I am obsessed with fragrance, I just spend a lot of time scrolling on those groups on Facebook to find the best deals before other people comment. And usually when I'm buying something, it's because I sold something. And that is no hate if you can just afford to buy whatever you want. I'm just not at that point in my life, and I might never be at that point in my life. I have 4 kids, and I chose a profession that doesn't pay very well. So that's the story of, yes, I do have a collection, but that's like the only thing I spend money on.
There is nothing wrong if you spend money on something that you love. So long, in my opinion, so long as everything else is balanced. Okay. My tennis shoes, because I have my knee arthritis, my tennis shoes are recommended by my physical therapist, and they've worked beautifully because I'm neutral, flat foot. And so I wear Ghost shoes, only shoes I've worn for the last 10 years. I own 2 pairs so I can, flip in and out of them. That's all that's been on my feet in the last 2 years are tennis shoes. By choice? No, I would have liked to worn other shoes, but here's the kicker. Even when I could wear other shoes, I was never a shoe person. So it's not, she shouldn't feel guilty and say, hey, I've got 4 kids, a spouse, and she's a teacher because she says she went into education. So I'm assuming that she's a teacher or somewhere along the line of education. And she says, I like to spend my money on perfume. I really don't see anything wrong with that as long as everything else is in place. And that is quite a lovely perfume collection she has back there. But part of me believes that she feels some guilt in doing it. And so perhaps her making this TikTok is just kind of a way for her to reel herself in and acknowledge and say, hey, you know what? I buy perfume, but are the kids going hungry? Are they able to still go on their field trips? All right. Are you and your husband? I don't know if she's married, but I'm going to assume. Okay. Are you and your husband able to meet the things that you need as a couple, towards your family and all of that? And if those things are being met and she says, hey, I buy perfume, go for it. I'm going to tell you something. I love being able to go out and buy bath stuff. And I finally put a stop to bath stuff when I counted. What was it? I think I had, and this is not a lot in the world of, perfume and stuff, but I think in bath stuff, the body scrubs, the exfoliating scrubs, I decided it was enough when I had 12 Tree Hut exfoliating scrubs. And I went, okay, if I use one a month, okay, that's a year's worth. And I don't even go through one a month. I probably go through one every couple of months. So I figure I got 2 years of Tree Hut. And again, it's the discipline in me. I stopped, and I think I'm now down to 8, maybe 7, 8 bottles left. And I'm committing not to buy any until it's all gone. It's powerful when you can stop yourself before you hurt yourself. It's kind of like, when you're an addict and you're recovering and you're starting to actually recover, you're starting to reap the rewards of recovery. When you're standing on that ledge, you can say, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, we up high enough now. I think we can step back, step down, and bring ourselves to safety. I would be wrong to sit here and look at you and say, oh yeah, I have no addiction problems at all. My shopping addiction totally gone. No, addictions are never really gone. My obsessive compulsive behavior and every other issue that I had going on, it's never really left. It never does. We just learn better coping skills. We learn acceptance of ourselves. We learn to cope in ways that are healthy versus ways that are not healthy with issues and problems. You see? So even though I believe, okay, in my mind, there are small slip-ups. A small slip-up is, like I said, I have 12 Tree Hut body scrubs. I think that's enough. That was me stomping myself going, well, that's enough. We're good. And I reeled myself back in. That is power when you are an addict of any type. Okay. Drugs, gambling, whatever. And you can pull yourself back to safety. That's an awesome feeling. And I do that more often than people realize. And people who've had addiction problems do it more often than you realize. We pull ourselves back to safety. That's the power. because it's not where we can logically say, oh, it's all gone, it's never going to happen again. It's better to say, hey, you know what? I acknowledge that this is a problem I have and I know what to do. I recognize the signs when I believe I'm going towards there and we pull back. Otherwise, truly, I could be the person, I would have no problem. You could put 100 different, body washes and stuff here and I'd be just happy as a clam.
0 days sober. Every morning I promise I'll stop. And then I see one pretty bottle, one new note, one sample that might smell like heaven. And suddenly I'm nose deep in another full bottle. Relapse. How many days have you been clean? Let's support one another.
And this is sincere. Okay. This is not in jest. And I think part of perfume addiction, the reason I think it can be blown off so easily is one, it's beyond just people not understanding addictive behavior, obsessive compulsive and all of that. But again, it's like I said in yesterday's video, there's a certain social acceptance to it. Okay. Drugs, alcohol, gambling. Oh, we need immediate help. Okay. Everybody, 911, let's get this person help. But if you say, hey, I'm going to go off to buy my, 20th bottle of perfume this month, we're like, oh, well, can I go shopping with you? See the difference? But it's as serious of a problem as any other addictive behavior. It can hurt you.
I've decided I gotta stop buying perfume and I gotta stop rewarding myself without doing anything. Like, I feel like when I buy another perfume, it should be because I earned it, I worked hard for it, and I gave myself a little time to actually desire that perfume, right? Because I feel like I want a perfume, I get it. And then I was so happy about getting the perfume, and then I get it, and then I just put it with the rest. And I feel like that's really toxic, so I'm trying to do better. So no more perfumes.
I have a very good gal pal who gets me a Christmas present every year without fail. She gets me a Christmas present. She's like, you can open it just as soon as it gets here, because she sends it to me about 2 weeks before Christmas. And she's like, you can just go ahead and open it. Do you know why I don't open it? And every year I have to explain it to her. The anticipation, looking at the pretty package, having it sit, in my living room and stuff. Okay. The anticipation is as exciting, if not even more exciting than what's in the package. Don't get me wrong. She got good taste too. Okay. So I know whatever in there, it's going to be good eats. Okay. Always is. But the anticipation is just as fun for me. So I take it and I leave it there. And she's come to understand that that's just a thing I have. And it's the same thing with people who are addicts. It's the anticipation. Gambleaholics. I'm not a gambleaholic, but I'm going to assume that the anticipation and the fun is, can you win? You're almost there. You just about got it. You almost beat the house. Okay. Same thing with perfume. And she was talking about the notes. She's talking about the notes of perfume because that's what it's called, different notes and stuff, different scents. It's the anticipation.
Friends, I think it's time we have a conversation about my perfume addiction. It might be time to call them people on me because I just bought 2 more perfumes last week. But I have one more big bottle. The blue version of this. I got the gray one, I got the pink one. I want the blue one. And then I want a couple more Kayali minis and I'm done. I'm done buying perfume. Unless somebody wants to gift it to me.
Gotta love the nails. How many addicts go, I just want this, and then I will be finished.
I have a confession. I need help. I'm looking at 13 bottles of perfume that have not been opened, touched, nothing. One of these, I got this one here for my birthday, which was in December of last year. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I have overconsumed, overspent. I love fragrances. I love to smell good, but it is an addiction. And it's a powerful addiction that, yes, it has me like this, and it always feels that it's never enough. I think I have finally come to my burnout, possibly, because I'm always going to smell good. I'm always going to have some fragrance, but I'm no longer trying to follow the trends of what's new. I am going to become very mindful of what I purchase. And now my thing is minis. I think for me, I'm going to go in that direction of minis. And if I find that I truly want it, I mean, I have to want it bad in order to invest in the big bottles. Because here, Al Ipsar, Arabia Prestige, 3 different ones of that, 3 different Eternal perfumes, 4 CM1s, and 1 Cherry Bomb Eternal fragrance. I haven't done anything with these, so that's telling me that you've got too much.
I am fighting the urge to buy a new fragrance. Now I realize addiction is real because I want that feeling of purchasing a new fragrance. And I know right now I don't need to buy a new fragrance because if you know, last month I did a lot of damage. Mind you, on my Nordstrom account, I have about 3 fragrances in my cart. On Brown Sugar Babe, there's like 6 items in my cart. On Lattafa, I have the entire Give Me Gourmand collection sitting in the cart, ready for me to press checkout. But the way I get my fix, I just go to department stores or Sephora and just smell some fragrances, get the fix, and leave. Do not make a purchase. But I want to spend, I don't know what it is, but I just want to spend some money on a fragrance. And it's actually fragrances that I want, but I'm trying to ease up a little bit, ease off the smell good water. But ooh, baby, I'm glad I'm not a crackhead because I'll be a
One of the things that I've done, I'm sure a lot of people have done with my beautiful, you know what? Let me hold on just a second. Hold on. Okay, so just in case those who don't know what Estee Lauder Beautiful looks like, and I always buy the big jars, not jars, geez, the big bottles. But one of the things I would do, and I continue to do when I go to the department store, I just lather myself up in it. And so I would, and of course I love Beautiful, so I would go and they have the lotion and stuff, and I would put on the lotion, way more lotion. Let's admit it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we use way more of the free lotion, okay, at the mall we would ever use if we had paid the $75 for the bottle. Because that's what my lotion cost. That's what the Beautiful lotion is about. I don't think it's about 75. It's about, it's $75. Hold on. Just chill here. Hold on. All right. Don't forget, you can always go to the quiet room if the stuff that bothers you, okay? But hopefully it doesn't. All right, so here we go. So here's the Beautiful. This is the Beautiful full-size lotion. This is $75. And then this is the Beautiful perfume, not perfume, the powder. And this runs $65. Now then, I will tell you, if you're going to get Estee Lauder, get it when it goes on sale. And of course, I bought it at 30% off because Estee Lauder is a line you don't need to ever pay full price for the Beautiful line. It does go on sale, and it goes on sale also right after Thanksgiving. And as a public service, I will keep you posted when Estee Lauder Beautiful goes on sale. So don't even worry about it because I'm always keeping my eyes on it. But I would lather myself up in it to the point, standing at the checkout counter, I would lather myself in it so much that the cashier or the customer service people almost look annoyed. And I always wondered, why do they look annoyed? I mean, it ain't costing them anything for me to try it on. It's like, can I help you? I find the salespeople at Dillard's are a little nicer than the salespeople at Macy's. I don't know if it's that they're nicer. I think Dillard's is a more relaxed store, so the salespeople kind of match that a little bit more. Whereas if I go into Macy's, I mean, really, I've had some nasty looks. It's like, you're using 3 pumps of the body lotion, when at home I'd probably only be using 1 pump because that stuff is expensive.
good one.
I'm getting ready to go to the gym, and I just had a stark realization. I'm thinking about wearing a fragrance to the gym, but I looked over at my fragrance collection, and I literally just froze. I think there comes a point in fragrance collecting when excess becomes less exciting and less stimulating and more overwhelming. I think I'm just like a little overwhelmed at how many choices I have, and I don't feel like my collection is pared down enough, which makes me wonder, am I alone?
Hi, my name is Linda.
Why do people change their clothes? It's like, I'm getting ready to take off my top, so let me go ahead and turn on the camera.
I'm a licensed mental health therapist, and I'm someone who navigates ADHD, and I talk a lot on my channel about the interconnections with perfume collecting and ADHD and shopping addiction. If you were someone who had food as a major coping mechanism for you for emotions, food addiction or food noise, which is when your mind was just really fixated on food, what you were going to eat, how much you were going to eat, when your next meal was coming from and you started a GLP-1 medication, you might have noticed that your hyperfixations or behavioral addictions shifted to another thing. Perfume collecting is a big one people are talking about, but also crystals, makeup, clothing, shoes, jewelry, other novel items that you can collect. So if you've experienced this, you are definitely not alone. These comments are coming up all over my posts. So what are GLP-1s and why might this be happening? So the GLP-1 medications are GLP-1 agonists, and GLP is glucagon-like peptide 1. So the medications function very similarly to the natural molecules that are found in the body. They help you feel fuller faster, they help your body release more insulin, and they slow down digestion. And all of these things combined make food less interesting, reduce cravings, and reduce food noise. They've also been shown in clinical studies to help people have fewer cravings for alcohol. So if you did have parts of yourself that were using food or alcohol to cope with emotions, to prevent difficult emotions from coming up, to deal with boredom, or as a symptom of ADHD, it stands to reason that with food no longer being a dopamine releasing part of your life, that your brain is going to start looking for other sources of dopamine. And shopping and collecting could absolutely be something that your mind would go to. And in and of itself, that doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It's all about working with the parts of ourselves that have impulses to act, understanding what those impulses are, what they're responding to within us, and then having the ability to get enough distance to determine if that impulse to act really serves us. So if this resonates with you, maybe you could take some time to think about what behaviors have replaced the role of food in your life, and what is that new behavior responding to? Is it responding to unworthiness, guilt, shame, fear, anxiety, stress, boredom? That is the route to being able to change anything. So we can't change something we aren't aware of. We have to first get curious and understand what we're doing, because all behavior is purposeful. We just need to understand what the purpose is, and then we can decide if that's serving us or what we might need to do to change it.
The problem with having a perfume collection is that you just get so bored of everything and want to buy more perfume. Like, was I low-key happier when I just had 5 perfumes?
Can't stop buying perfume? It's not just you, it's science. Blind buying, endless bottles, chasing that next scent. Your brain is literally wired to love it. When you smell a new fragrance, dopamine floods the brain. It's the same chemical released when we're gambling, shopping, or in love. But here's the twist. Anticipation can give more enjoyment than actually owning the perfume. Do you ever notice that scrolling the discount sites at 2 a.m. or waiting for that next delivery, or even tearing off that plastic wrap from the box feels better than even wearing the perfume? That's the anticipation dopamine doing its thing. The novelty cycle. Our brains crave novelty. So once you wear that new perfume a few times, you move on. But some people aren't chasing that high at all. They're true scent lovers. And scientists call them super smellers. A super smeller's brain processes scent more intensely. Just smelling it is bliss, it's art, and meditation, all wrapped into one. And if you're a super smeller, you're never worried about finishing all of these bottles either, because the joy is in the moment. And you might be a little of both. So the question then becomes, why can't you just stop? Blame science, because scent bypasses logic and goes straight into the limbic system. That's the part of your brain that controls emotion and memory. And that's why one whiff can transport you to childhood, heartbreak, or even a fantasy. And it's also why you keep chasing that new smell.
Have you ever wondered what $5,000 worth of fragrance would look like? It would look like this. There's over $5,000 worth of fragrance on this tray. These are the most expensive perfumes in my collection, and I'm gonna tell you whether or not I would buy them again. Disclaimer, I'm not including any PR or gifted fragrances in this lineup. These are only perfumes that I have spent my own money on. And yes, I know I'm insane. Starting with the favorite from Van Haligen's, this was $260. I bought this when I was at their Covent Garden store in London, and yes, I would absolutely buy this again. One of the prettiest powdery florals that ever exists. I love Van Haligen's. Next we have Nuit Andalouse from MDCI, and this is a beautiful, sweet, white floral fragrance. But I definitely bought this on an impulse. I sprayed it once on my skin and then I said, put it in the cart, add it to the bag, and I walked away with it. And upon further reflection, I probably would not buy this again. This was $265. Next, we have Basilicum from Fuegia. This is a beautiful green, aromatic, herbal, earthy fragrance, and I really enjoy it, but I think
You asked, and I am inclined to oblige. More expensive perfumes and if they are worth it or not. Okay, we have almost everyone's favorite, Delina Exclusive by Parfums de Marly, which is a sweet lychee rose perfume. This is more rose dominant, but it's powdery and it's very beautiful and girly. And would I buy this again? Sure would. Next, we have Tailleur by Bulgari, which is a citrus, juicy ginger scent. This is a very elegant scent, perfect for the summertime. Now, this looks like the lifetime supply, so I don't think I need to get another one. And last but not least is Spiritueuse Double Vanille by Guerlain, which is a very sweet, woodsy vanilla. This is absolutely one of my favorites. Would I buy again? Yes. But am I going to have to get another job to get it? Yes, too.
I bought this $700 bottle of vanilla from the Gods perfume. Here she is. Oh my goodness. Look at this bottle. Literally feels like I'm just holding gold in my hands. And yes, I did get my name engraved in gold on the back because it was free. And if I'm going to be spending $630 on a perfume, best believe I'm going to get my name on the bottle. You guys saw my original video of this. I had a sample that I got from Etsy and I did not like it. But because I spent like $50 on that 2 milliliter sample, I wanted to wear it, so I wore it the next day for a full day. And after the first 1 to 2 hours, I was completely encapsulated by this fragrance. The magic really is in the dry down with this one. This is Guerlain's Vanille Planifolia Extrait 21. So this is an extrait de parfum, so it's the strongest concentration of perfume oil. This one specifically has 30% perfume oil. And the 21 in Extrait 21 stands for the vanilla had to be cold soaked in alcohol for 21 days for it to get to the correct tincture. Really are paying for high, extremely high quality vanilla. It looks like vanilla extract in this bottle. The video doesn't do it justice on how gorgeous it is. It literally feels like you're holding gold, and you guys best believe I'll not be spraying this willy-nilly on tester strips on my friends, whoever. This is strictly reserved for me because this is now holds the place for the most expensive fragrance in my collection. Okay, so for notes, it's pretty simple. You have vanilla, spices, opopanax, amber, and musk. When you spray this initially, and why I initially didn't like it at first was because my skin pulled the opopanax very heavy. Opopanax can smell kind of like a sweet myrrh. I do not like myrrh in fragrances. So I was really getting that initially when I sprayed it. My nose picked up on that sweet.
0 days sober. Every morning I promise I'll stop. And then I see one pretty bottle, one new note, one sample that might smell like heaven. And suddenly I'm nose deep in another full bottle. Relapse. How many days have you been clean? Let's support one another.
You know, I've decided I gotta stop buying perfume and I gotta stop rewarding myself without doing anything. Like, I feel like when I buy another perfume, it should be because I earned it, I worked hard for it, and I gave myself a little time to actually desire that perfume, right? Because I feel like I want a perfume, I get it. And then I was so happy about getting the perfume, and then I get it, and then I just put it with the rest. And I feel like that's really toxic, so I'm trying to do better. So no more perfumes.
Friends, I think it's time we have a conversation about my perfume addiction. It might be time to call them people on me because you know I just bought 2 more perfumes last week. But I have one more big bottle. Actually, the blue version of this. I got the gray one. I got the pink one. I want the blue one. And then I want a couple more Kayali minis. And I'm done. I'm done buying perfume. Unless somebody wants to gift it to me.
I have a confession. I need help. I'm looking at 13 bottles of perfume that have not been opened, touched, nothing. One of these, I got this one here for my birthday, which was in December of last year. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I have overconsumed, overspent. I love fragrances. I love to smell good, but it is an addiction. And it's a powerful addiction that, yes, it has me like this, and it always feels that it's never enough. I think I have finally come to my burnout, possibly, because I'm always going to smell good. I'm always going to have some fragrance, but I'm no longer trying to follow the trends of what's new. I am going to become very mindful of what I purchase, and now my thing is minis. I think for me, I'm going to go in that direction of minis, and if I find that I truly want it, I have to want it bad in order to invest in the big bottles. Because here, Al Ipsar, Arabia Prestige, 3 different ones of that, 3 different Eternal perfumes, 4 CM1s, and 1 Cherry Bomb Eternal fragrance. I haven't done anything with these, so that's telling me that you've got too much.
Having Azula rate my most expensive fragrances. First, the $8,200 Dior Sauvage Elixir X Baccarat.
How much?
$8,200.
Can I say mid?
It's mid?
Yeah, it's like a 6.
Nutmeg, cinnamon, licorice.
Almost every Playboy smells like that.
Is it worth the money?
No, but the bottle is really nice, so I would say yes.
Next, Chrome Hearts 22.
I like it.
I know there's raspberry and iris.
That's a great fragrance.
It kind of smells like a warehouse. 1 through 10?
7.5.
Is it worth $500?
The bottle, yes.
The scent?
No.
No, okay. Next, Louis Vuitton Per Ombre.
I have trauma from this bottle.
You hated Per Santal.
Okay, it's not as shitty as the other one. You sprayed a lot, and I still cannot smell a lot.
There's only 2 notes, ambergris and ambroxan.
It's a great perfume. It's just not strong enough. I give this.
I'm getting ready to go to the gym, and I just had a stark realization. I'm thinking about wearing a fragrance to the gym, but I looked over at my fragrance collection, and I literally just froze. I think there comes a point in fragrance collecting when excess becomes less exciting and less stimulating and more overwhelming. I think I'm just like a little overwhelmed at how many choices I have, and I don't feel like my collection is pared down enough, which makes me wonder, am I alone?
500 perfumes, but these are my 5 most expensive bottles. Number 5 goes to Amouage Guidance 46 that retails for $520 for 100 ml. This, in my opinion, smells like heaven. It's fruitier and creamier than the original, and with a 46 perfume concentration, it'll last and project like crazy. Number 4 is the Lina Exclusive that retails for $410 for 75 ml. A very sultry and sophisticated scent with notes of lychee, pear, rose, incense, and vanilla. A 100 ml bottle of L retails for around $580, but in my opinion, it is so worth it. It smells like light, airy florals, but it also kind of smells like a red berries macaroon. In the number 2 spot, we'll have Isola Sol by Roja, which retails for $500 for 50 ml. This is a gorgeous summer scent, beautifully blended with notes of apricot, mandarin, salt, coconut, and white florals. And my most expensive perfume bottle is Valiant, which retails for a whopping $1,300 for 100 ml. What can I say? It smells divine. Like the most luxurious florals are blended with pure liquid gold. Let me know down in the comments what's the maximum amount you'd spend on a perfume bottle.
Is the most expensive perfume in history. One bottle costs $1.3 million. It's called Shumuk. The bottle is set with 3,500